Shalom, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rekah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. And basically, I just want to go in on I might do a new thing for my once a week or whatever through the Spirit. Do a thing just called headlines, all right? And with this new idea for my lessons, I'm just going to go through the headlines and then pick out some precepts, okay? With each different, stories that pops up on my news feed or my Google news feed, okay? So the first thing I wanted to touch on is this one right here. It says, it's talking about Cam Newton. He's the one you pictured right here, the quarterback for the New England Patriots. Or I should say former quarterback of the New England Patriots. Because he's not taken the vaccine, all right? So I don't know what the policy or the protocol or what they're doing in the NFL right now. I don't know if it's mandatory. But I guess it's not. I thought that they had mentioned that you had to be vaccinated to be on an NFL roster, but apparently that's not the case. But I know that if you want to go to a game as a fan, you do need to be vaccinated. You can't go to a Broncos game or a Patriots game if you don't have the vaccination, okay? And that's just this beast system coming down, on really all the people, but ultimately first they're going to come down on the Israelites, all right? So with this picture here that you got Cam Newton, and if you follow football, Cam Newton would be considered a superstar in football, right? So it comes as a surprise that he was released by the Patriots, all right? Yeah, the Patriots, they got a new draft pick. And let me just say this before I say anything else about the sports. The sports is all rigged, okay? Everything is rigged in sports, That's another deception that Esau Edom put on all you people. And he literally does rituals by the numbers with his gematria, or gematria, however you want to say it, which is the study of, is basically the numbers and letters system. All right, look into it. Gematria, Gematria. All right, gematria. All right, but anyway, it's all fake anyway, so it's not a big deal. But I'm just saying, this guy right here, considered a, I would say call him a superstar. He in the league in the NFL, but he was released by the New England Patriots. And Bill Belichick. They released him, and let me go into, let's see if I can find the other story here. Because I started to read a different story pertaining to this. And let's see. Let's see if I can find it, Lord's will. Because I was a little bit surprised, when I saw the headline about them releasing Cam Newton. See, so let me look for it on my. Let's see. So I'm just looking for this, and they may have, I don't know why, but it's not coming up. Let's see. Okay, here's the article I was talking about with Cam Newton. And it's basically just mocking him in this article if you read it, but that's not important. That's not why I'm bringing this lesson out. But here's the Edomite who is going to replace Cam Newton. His name is Mac Jones, and it says Mac Jones is quarterback one in New England. The Patriots release Cam Newton, meaning rookie Mac Jones will be their starting quarterback, as first reported by the Boston Globe and confirmed by Adam Schefter. So as you can see, and it's fitting, right? We're doing a story on the Patriots, right? It's these so-called Patriots, right? It's a wicked thing in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai if you're calling yourself a patriot in Babylon, and you want to make allegiance to Babylon, all right? But here's the big reason, and one of the main reasons why he got released. Because, like I say, Cam Newton, he's still got a lot of football left in him. He's not. I don't think he's that old, and he's a. When I was watching football, because it doesn't interest me anymore because I know it's all fixed and rigged, so I can't sit through a game anymore. It's just like a waste of time now. But anyway, let me read this paragraph right here, starting at the top. It says, Newton, talking about Cam Newton, did seem to return to the team, but after that, he had some interesting comments to make about COVID-19 vaccine. The NFL has been very strict on its rules for unvaccinated players, ready to hand down fines and punishments, as Cole Beasley and Isaiah McKenzie found out. So anyway, let me keep reading it. Because Cam Newton, apparently, he didn't want to take the jab, he didn't want to take the vaccination. So let's read this. When reporters asked both Cam Newton and rookie Mac Jones about whether they were vaccinated or not, both of them chose to deflect the question. Newton would say, I think it's too personal for each and every person to kind of discuss it, and I'll just keep it at that. So, more than likely he didn't take the vaccination. That's why, big reason why they released him. Okay? So let's read the next paragraph, because this is what tells you. Newton was one of the few players on the Patriots squad who used to come out to the field with a mask, something the NFL requires for all unvaccinated players. So if you're not vaccinated and you play on an NFL team, you got to wear a mask, while you practice. Okay? It says, perhaps the Patriots didn't want to deal with the drama of having an unvaccinated player, and so they chose to release Newton, but nevertheless, the situation is surprising. So that's the main point, This guy right here, Cam Newton, which this is just a fake team. Bishop Sycamore right here in the picture is not a real team. It's just basically a mockery, all right? And I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole new story. But Cam Newton basically was released because he was not vaccinated, okay? They're not going to come out and tell you that, but that's behind the scenes the truth, all right? Is it righteous for Cam Newton to not get vaccinated and, not take the jab? Well, yeah, it's a righteous thing. And, he's probably just doing it just because Jake naturally doesn't want to take the jab. All right, we don't. In our spirit, we already know it ain't nothing good about that vaccination. Okay, so I'm gonna bring out a few precepts real quick. The first one I'm gonna show you is in Matthew, right? Let's see. Or you know what? Let's see. Mark is what it is, not Matthew. Let's go to Mark 10 and 25. Because basically, 10 and 25. Let me read it. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of Yahweh. All right? So we know that if you take the chip, which is the MOTB, mark of the beast, that you're gonna be reserved to the lake of fire, meaning you're gonna get burned up in nuclear fire. So right now the NFL is mandating vaccinations. They're fining their players for not taking vaccinations. And this is the NFL, that obviously there are businesses and different jobs that are requiring vaccinations, and if you don't take them, you're gonna suffer the loss of your employment, right? You're not gonna be able to work. So right now, it's just the predecessor, which is the jab, you know, the vaccine. But eventually, pretty soon, Lord willing, it's going to be that MOTB, Mark of the Beast, that Chips Ahoy. All right, we got to use code words here because they keep cutting our videos. But this is why it says it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of Yahweh, because eventually, right now, Cam Newton was just released. Another team could pick him up, whatever, you know what I mean? But when it comes down to it, and they start implementing the Chips Ahoy, the Mark of the Beast, and this doesn't go for the NFL, this goes for the whole world, but I'm using this as an example. Once they mandate that, how many of those players that said, hey, I'm not taking the jab, are going to change their mind because they don't want to lose their purse? They don't want to lose their money. See? That's one of the reasons why it says it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of Yahweh. And really, just to explain, it's not talking about a sewing needle, all right? The eye of a needle would have been referred to an entrance in a wall or in a castle in the ancient world, okay? And camels were, usually they had burdens strapped to them, which were, luggage, belongings, material things, where a camel would carry all of your stuff, right? And with all that stuff on its back, there's no way it's getting through that little entryway, which is called a needle in a castle, all right? But the point is yeah, Cam Newton right now, he got released for not getting vaccinated, which is, the true story more than likely. But is he going to be able to do the same thing when they take it a step further and with the Mark of the Beast, all right? The Chips Ahoy. Is he going to be able to not take the Chips Ahoy? That's what you want to know. So let me go to the Revelation real quick, 13. It says, Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. Okay. Everybody knows that if you look into the UPC symbol, the UPC symbol, the barcode, it literally represents 666. All right, those lines all represent numbers and codes, and there's a 6 at the beginning of every barcode, a 6 in the middle of every barcode, and a 6 at the end of every barcode. All right, and that's dealing with the barcodes, but verse 15 and 17 is talking about when they actually put the device in you, and now you're going to, you're not going to be able to buy or sell, like it says in verse 17, without that mark, which is that charagma, right? In Greek, the word is charagma, all right? And it means an etching or a cutting in the flesh. When you go into the Blue Letter Bible, it shows you that. So that's what it is, brothers. We're coming into that time, and you're seeing it on all different scales, all different platforms, where people are losing their employment because they're not following the image of the beast. By Cam Newton not taking that vaccination, getting released, and maybe there was more to it, but I know that was a big factor, like that article said, that the Patriots didn't want to deal with an unvaccinated player, right? In this day and age, hey, you're considered a terrorist if you're not vaccinated, and that's that Revelation 12:12, that devil, he's going to come down on us hard with great wrath because he knows he only has a short time before Yahweh Bashem Yahshai visits the earth. Okay, so I want to pull out a precept. This is Romans 5 and let me see. All right, maybe it's. Let me see. All right, I'm in the wrong one. Okay, I was off. Romans 2 and 14. Because by Cam Newton, he may not know it, but he's keeping the law by not getting that vaccination. All right, he doesn't know the laws. I'm sure he's not coming out saying he's a Hebrew Israelite and he's repenting. He's probably a 2/3. You know what I mean? But that's Yahweh's decision, right? Whether or not he chooses to reveal the truth to Cam Newton, which I don't think he is, but that's Yahweh Bashem Yahshai's call, not mine. This is Romans 2 and 14. It says, for when the Gentiles, right now Cam Newton is a Gentile, he's not coming in the name and the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, so he'd be considered a Gentile. It says, when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. See? So the nature of Jake is for us not to take that jab, not to take that vaccination. But are the Gentiles, the ones who don't even know that they're Israelites, they still have that same spirit that they don't want to take the jab. But you got the 2/3 who are idiots. They're going to take the jab. That's already prophesied. They're going to also take the MOTB, the mark of the beast. All right, but they're by nature they're keeping the law. You see, so by nature Cam Newton is keeping the law by not taking the jab, not taking the vaccination. And since I keep saying it, let me get it. Leviticus 19 and 28, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The dead is the heathen and the 2/3. All the people who are not repenting, who are not understanding, who are not hearkening, meaning listening to the prophets, to the truth. All right. You're not supposed to make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, and the dead are those Edomites. They have no repentance. They're the walking dead, and so are you 2/3, you Israelites that follow the Edomite. You're also the walking dead. But see, this is the law. This is a law I'm reading, the Levitical law, chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. All right, so you're not supposed to cut into your flesh. The vaccination is a cut in the flesh. So, therefore, a violation of the law. But you got the football player, Cam Newton, by nature, he's not taking it. Because why? Because we read it in Romans 2 and 14. The Gentiles keep the law by nature sometimes, all right, without even knowing the law. So, I just want to do a quick lesson because I saw that article. And like I said, I was a little bit surprised that the New England Patriots released Cam Newton. And, but now it makes sense, because the brother didn't want to take the vaccination. And the Patriots, I mean, come on, they're named the Patriots. So those guys, they're going to get those patriots in line, right? And it's ultimately going to be to their destruction. So that's all I wanted to bring out, So, you know, without speaking on it anymore, I'm going to go ahead and give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, HaRakakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akiam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, all right? Shalom to the elect.